All right, I'm gonna try to move this up a little bit. Thank you, Marilyn, I appreciate it. No, I think everybody can hear me. If not, I usually have a pretty loud voice. But before I get started with my comments, I want to say thank you to a few people, Marilena, the Transfer Center, the students, the staff, the people that are working this event, making this possible today, the ladies in the back checking us in, everyone that's making this a reality. I want to thank the Board of Trustee members that are here, Dr. Fierro, any student body government people that are here, or if you guys served in student government, I want to thank you because I can tell you from firsthand experience, I know how much work that takes. As a student, you think, okay, I need to focus on the classes, but Cerritos College isn't just about going to class. There's so much more to do here, and I'll talk about that in my speech. But I just want to say thank you, and most of all, thank you to the transfer students, because without you, none of this is possible. So thank you for letting me be a part of your day today. So thank you. Well, as it was so rudely mentioned, yeah, it's been almost 24 years since I sat where you sat today, and I remember a lot about that day. It was amazing. There was so much I remember. I was proud about the things that I accomplished. I was excited about what was coming in the future. Most excited about the party that was coming that night. So yeah. But what I don't remember were the people that came to speak. So I will try to make this short and brief and keep it to the point. And hopefully I'll include something that you do take away. There was one other thing I do remember. And that was when I started getting my acceptance letter, I started to feel this strange feeling of anxiety and fear. And I wasn't quite sure because this is everything I had worked for, right? I was here 24/7. When I wasn't working, I was in class. When I wasn't in class, I was in student government. When I wasn't there, I was in the library. And when I wasn't in the library, I was probably at a Denny's till 2 in the morning, somewhere within the perimeter around here studying. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. But when I started to get those acceptance letters, I started to feel this strange sense, and I started to think about it. I haven't really spoken about it much until I started to write my speech for today. And I started to realize why that was. But to give you a little bit of context as to my story, I'll share a little brief history, and then I'll get into the point of why I think I was feeling that anxiety. You know, I wasn't born into privilege. I wasn't born into a family of money or wealth. If anything, or even structure or stability. My mom worked 2 jobs to support 7 kids. So it fell on the older kids to do a lot of the child raising, you know. And for some people that's normal, and even within the Latino community, I think we see that a lot, where the older sisters and brothers end up kind of taking that place. Some of you may be that older sister and brother, and if you are, thank you for taking care of the younger ones, because that was me. You know, but that lack of structure is what led me to the Marine Corps. It led me to ROTC in high school. That was the one thing that I was very, very good at. So I enlisted my senior year and went off that summer after graduation and served 6 years in the Marine Corps. I served in avionics, working on airplanes, and that's where I realized the importance of education. I saw the difference that education made between the enlisted class and the officer class. The enlisted class looked like the people in this room. The officer class didn't. I'll let you fill in that gap, but the biggest difference was most of them had a college education, or actually all of the officers had to have a college education. So that's what led me here to Cerritos. You know, and my time here at Cerritos was amazing. You know, I got very involved. I went from a ridiculously low GPA in high school. Sometimes I think they just let me go instead of actually graduated me, but that's fine. To graduating with a 3.75 here from Cerritos, the Gates Millennium Scholarship. We helped start the Honor Scholars Program. We helped rebuild this quad that's now being rebuilt again for part of it, but change is the only constant, I guess. But, you know, we did a lot while we were here, and I started to realize, you know, I kind of became a big fish in a small pond. And Cerritos was the family that I chose, not the family that I was born into. You know, Marilena shared some of my highlights, but what wasn't in that bio was just the amount of support and love that I got from people here on this campus. I mean, it was to the point where at one point when I was student body trustee, I was the president trustee, one of the trustees came up to me and said, "Is everything okay?" And, you know, as a Marine, of course, everything's okay. We can handle anything. But clearly she noticed something. And what she eventually dug out of me was that for a brief period of time while I was working and going to school, I was between homes. So I was sleeping in my car. And nobody would have suspected that. But for some reason, she figured it out. So she invited me and provided a place for me to stay while I got back on my feet. That's the kind of people that come to Cerritos. I didn't intend to talk about that, but yeah. So, you know, those are the kind of people, and what I started to realize was I was leaving everyone I knew and everyone I loved behind. And I was stepping out into the unknown. And ultimately, that's what I want to talk to you guys about as the transfer students. You know, maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you have a great support network, and maybe you're super excited about getting on to that next level. But I will tell you, you will face challenges, and that's okay. Instead of feeling afraid about it, think of it as something that's going to be exciting. Be excited about the people you're going to meet and the new friends you're going to make, the things you're going to learn and the places you're going to go. You know, but most importantly, be excited about becoming that best version of you. What you started here at Cerritos, be excited about continuing that. Because it's not done yet, you guys. There's a long road ahead, but it's an exciting road. And it's going to be filled with challenges. It's going to be filled with, you know, ups and downs. But one of the things that you should always understand is that you built a family here too. This is a community that will always be here for you when you're done with your school and you're that next one to come back and give this speech. You know, this school will be here between now and then. You know, it's so interesting when I get this opportunity to speak with a group of you guys. So the ask that I will make, because I do want to wrap this up and let you guys get onto your parties that you hopefully have after this, but is that, you know, you do come back. You do remember that Cerritos was the place that you launched that journey that was at Min? That Min was talking about. And I'm glad I didn't have to speak after him because he had way too much energy, and that I would have been totally looking bad after that point. But I'm sure you're going to go on to great things, Min, at UCI, if that's correct, right? Yeah. The anteaters. Yep. So, you know, so when you do come back, please remember that you were going to be that example for that next generation of transfer students, that next generation of leaders. And don't ever hesitate to come back and reach out to this support network while you're in your schools. I will continue to be a part of Cerritos for as long as I can. Hopefully our paths will cross again. But I want to, like I said, I want to keep this short. I hope you guys go on to bigger, better, and great things. And I am proud to be part of your family now. And thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak with you. Thank you.